Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's Tips from the Top call. We have one of our SEDs, Lori Probsdorfer. She is joining us, and she is going to be sharing with us some great tips on how to take Via on vacation. So there's some summer tips. She's got her fun hat on today, and so I'm just going to go ahead and pass it over to her and let her share her tips with you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Sabrina. It's fun to see you, and it's really fun to see everybody. I want to shout out specifically to people, but I won't. But just know I see you, and I'm super happy that you're here. I first want to say, obviously, thanks for inviting me on the call. Anybody who knows me, if you're friends with me on Facebook or you're friends with me down the street, you know that I love to travel. The main reason I started in direct sales 15 years ago was the flexibility. I had a husband who traveled for work, and I had little kids. And so going into an office was not an option for me. I have literally spent every single July since I had kids visiting my family in California. And I've been able to maintain and grow a really strong and healthy business and still do that. So I feel like this is a pretty, an area that I kind of know a lot about. Like I said, I started in direct sales because of the flexibility, and I stay in direct sales because of the flexibility. We can literally design our schedules to meet our needs rather than a boss's needs. For me, it's like magic. So I kind of want everybody to start thinking about what's coming up in the next month or so. Kids are going to be getting out of school. Families will be traveling all over the country. Maybe your family will be traveling. Maybe your kids will be home. Maybe you're even going to go on a beach trip. I want to talk about how you can maximize your flexibility and keep your business strong this summer by taking a beach trip. So we're going to take that acronym, and I'm going to sort of build out some stuff for you. So B, bring wine. You have the best calling card of anyone, no matter where you go. If you go to the pool or the zoo or a play date, to a barbecue, to your neighbor's house, just to get away from the noise, bring your wine. Our bottle is the perfect conversation piece. You can always use our labels to begin a conversation about our wine, our give back, our awesome in-home wine tastings. Be sure to take that wine with you everywhere and start a conversation. E, exercise. That's right. Exercise the tools that we're given in home office and use the skills that you've been taught around booking tastings. Sometimes we really have to go back to basics. And in a little while, I'm going to share some ideas on who you can reach out to. A, ask. Ask everyone. I'm adamant about this, you guys. Ask everyone you come into contact with, at the grocery store, at Marshall's, at the park. Do you have a particularly great server at a restaurant? Ask them. Let them know that you're impressed with their service or their smile. Whatever is genuinely calling you to talk to them about your offer. I'm all about authenticity. Don't BS people because they know you're BSing them. But if you feel a genuine connection with somebody and you feel a call to them because of something you're seeing in them, ask them. Don't ever be afraid. Let them know that you're always looking for great people to help spread our mission, to give back, and share our vision to make the world a better place, and that you'd love to set up a time to chat and see if this is a good fit for them. The other really big piece of this is always start with the business opportunity. Every single time. That's always your first offer. Because if that's not for them, you can back down to hosting a tasting. And if that's not for them, you can back further back into being a customer. And if that's not for them, then you can ask for a referral. So always, always, always start with the opportunity. That's always your first thing out. C, challenge. Challenge yourself. Or grab a pacing partner and challenge one another to reach for something that feels scary or out of reach to you. Working with a friend can make the whole process more fun, but also more effective. If you tell your pacing partner that you're going to the pool with some moms tomorrow, and you promise and you commit that you are going to ask 5 of them about the business, when you know you got to pick up that phone and call that person tomorrow and report back, it's going to make you less likely to back out of that. Right? It's very easy to get in the situation, be really brave and be like, I'm asking those girls, they're going to host and then you get there and you're like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to ask them. But if you know you got to call Tracy Manning in the morning and tell her what you did, you're going to do it. And I will also tell you that the first time is scary, but it is not scary after that. I'm telling you right now. C is for challenge. H, we're spelling beach trip, by the way. Did you figure that out? Beach trip. Okay, so the H in beach, have fun. Don't forget, this is wine, ladies. It is not rocket science. We are not going to school. It's wine. Wine tastings are fun. Pool parties are fun. It doesn't have to feel like a chore. Remember to bring the fun in the fundraiser. Also, super important, take time to enjoy your family and the slower pace of life in the summer. Go ahead and enjoy it. Enjoy being at the pool. Enjoy going on that trip with your family. And I'm going to talk more about that in a minute too. The T in trip, talk. Get out of the house and talk to your friends. Make an effort to go new places and meet new people. Kids are a perfect accessory for that. Let me tell you, Sabrina's about to find out. Girl, you want to meet some people, go take your kid out in public. Everybody wants to talk about it. So, you know, it's the perfect opportunity for you to strike up a conversation at the park with a mom or a dad. Again, going to the pool or the zoo. Everybody's, for the most part, not everybody, but lots of people have kids in common. And even as your kids get older, you can strike up familiar conversations with one another around your kids. It's a perfect opportunity to share your business. Be listening. Listen. You don't want to vomit all over people. Listen to them when you're in a conversation. You'll always hear something that they say that's going to bring you back to a piece of your business, whatever that's going to look like. More often than not, you can find a way to relate their conversation and what they're sharing with you with your business. So talk to everybody. Make sure you're making yourself get out of the house. It's real easy to be stuck in the house and forget that there's a whole world out there. The R in trip, rest. Yes, rest. This is a time for you to recharge and reconnect. If you're like me, maybe you have a kid coming home from college or family coming to visit. Really, really take this opportunity to unplug, walk away, soak up the love and the conversation and the family and friend time. Be present, be 100% in the moment. If you've done all of the things that we've talked about, if you've made your plan and set yourself up, you can walk away and unplug and go really, really recharge yourself, rebuild your heart, because we give a lot in this business. So it's important that we're also feeding ourselves. The I in trip, innovate. What are ways that you might be able to work your business into your flexible schedule? Can you host a Facebook event? Can you do an email campaign? Can you reach out to former customers and hosts and see if they need more wine? Be creative. Can you do a tasting for your Aunt Sally when you take that trip to Iowa to visit? Who do you know in California? When you go to Crush, can you tack on a day to do a tasting for a friend or a relative? Here's some ideas about people you can reach out to over the summer. Who have you connected to that loves our wine? Who would you love to host a party? Who's someone you'd love to get to know? A neighbor, a friend of a friend, someone you've done business with, that cool chick at Starbucks who's the barista, that bank teller, the insurance agent that you kind of ran into. Who in the past, and I hope you're all making notes, who in the past has said, you know what, I'd like to host, but right now isn't the time? Maybe this is the time. Who's going to benefit from hosting? Who is trying to raise money for something? Who has a big party coming up that they need wine for? Who haven't you talked to in months that you might like to reconnect with? Who's somebody I know you've all supported people's direct sales businesses in the past. There is not a thing in the world wrong with asking for reciprocity. Hey, remember when I, had that jewelry party for you? I really could use, your assistance. I'd really like to host a tasting with you. And then finally, the P in trip is for plan. Plan ahead. Right now is the time to set yourself up for summer success. And not just the summer, but for the coming fall season, which is, as you guys know, or you may not know, but you're about to know, is our busiest season by far. These tastings that you book this summer are going to set up your fall calendar. Remember, your goal is always to book tastings at tastings. A full summer calendar will create a full fall calendar. And when OND, October, November, December hits, you will want a full calendar. You can triple your income between September and December. That is not a joke, but you do have to plan for it, and you do have to be ready for it. So plan ahead. Get on your calendar right now and mark off exactly when you're available this summer. When are you traveling and when can you work? If you think about it, on average, folks do about 4 tastings in a month. Did you know that you can do all 4 of them in one weekend? I do tastings on Friday night, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. That means you can have the rest of that month to have fun and do whatever you want. You make your own schedule, maximize it as best you can. You can tell your family, this weekend, I'm busy. I am working, but guess what? Next weekend, we're going to take a beach trip. And the following weekend, we're going to go visit Aunt Sally in Iowa. So, that's really it for me. I travel a lot. I'm gone for 2 weeks in June. I'll be gone for 2 weeks in July. And I will tell you that I will still rock my business. I will still grow my business. I will still make a great income doing my business because I plan ahead. So that is my tips for success on your summer beach trip. Woo!
Lori, I love that. I've never heard anything like it. It was so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Does anyone have any questions right now for Lori or I? Be sure to ask them. We can open the chat box, and then you can unmute yourself and ask a question too. And Tracy, thank you so much for posting that in the chat box.
Oh my gosh, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the chat box.
Tracy.
Oh, Tracy!
Uh-huh.
You're such a rock star.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
So
yeah, let's go to the beach.
I know, but I didn't put all the notes under each one. So hopefully
that's okay. I can post it if anybody wants me to post it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So Lisa is saying that she has trouble starting a conversation. What will make you sound educated? I think the first thing to remember, Lisa, is you probably when you had a conversation with somebody, did you expect them to be educated, or were you just really intrigued by what they were saying and kind of excited about it? I think that's key. You don't have to be super educated, okay? Like most people have never been to a wine tasting when they join this business, so they don't really have a clue. There are people that do this business who don't even drink wine. So I think that's the first thing is you don't need to feel super educated about it. What's important is that you're sharing from your heart, and in your heart, you feel excited. You feel like you love what we're doing. Maybe you feel like you've tasted the wine and it's really good. And it's perfectly okay to say to anybody, look, I don't have all the answers, but here's what I know. This is super fun. I'm making a decent paycheck. People seem to really love it, and we're raising a lot of money. That's all you really need to know. Everything else is really on the back of the bottle, and there are things that you'll learn along the way. So that is the first thing that I would say is take that off your plate. You don't have to be an expert in anything. None of us are. None of us are. I hope that's helpful. And if you have a further question, let me know for sure.
And I think too, Lisa, if you're passionate, like you're just going to be excited and they're going to catch your excitement. So that's going to take them even further than what you're even talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? I just joined a few days ago, made my business Facebook page and looking forward to booking tasting. Is there anything special I should be doing to get the word out besides just picking up the phone and smiling and dialing? Donna.
I love that.
Smiling and dialing. That's an old one. I think it just comes back to what we were just talking about. It's about sharing your excitement. I have feelings about Facebook pages that I won't necessarily go into here. I honestly don't think it's the best use of your time. That's how I feel about it. So, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying, whatever. I'm just saying I don't think it's the best use of your time. And I think a better use of your time is getting out and meeting new people, going to networking events, going on Meetup, looking for opportunities on Meetup. Get out of your house, go push yourself out of your comfort area and meet some new folks, because I will always say, your friends and family are a great place to start, but they're not going to sustain your business. Get away from them as soon as possible, because they're the people that have the greatest potential to hurt your feelings when your feelings don't need to be hurt, because it's not about you. It's about the other person. And they are the least likely to sustain support. So get away from them as quickly as possible. They're lovely and they'll buy wine now and again and you'll send them gifts and whatever, but that's not your business. Your business is get away from those people. And yeah, pick up the phone and smile and dial. The best thing you can do is have a strong calendar. If you're doing 4 tastings a month, you will do 4 tastings a month. It is all about momentum. It is all about momentum and knowing your availability. Those are like the super keys to this deal. Yeah. Keep your momentum going and know your availability. 4 tastings leads to 4 tastings leads to 4 tastings. Sabrina, you want to say something? It looks
like. I 100% agree with you, Lori. I feel like if you treat every tasting event as a networking event, as in don't let anyone leave that party without knowing everything you can help them out with. Letting them know about corporate gifting, our wine club, how you can join the opportunity. And as I loved what Lori said earlier too, was start with the opportunity and then work your way backwards with the different things that you can help them out with. So definitely approach each event as an opportunity to network with everyone there. If you have 12 to 15 people, that's 12 to 15 people that you did not know before. So you need to make sure that you're sharing everything. Go ahead, Lori.
So if this will be my, what will I say? This will be my, my epitaph on my gravestone. It's the only thing like original I've ever come up with. So I do like to share it. And if you don't have to watch the whole tasting that is posted in the community that I did. But if you want to skip forward through it, I mention every single time, every single tasting, every single time, the 4 ways to get free and discounted wine. And if you mention that every single time, you are guaranteed you are talking about the booking opportunity, you're talking about the business opportunity, you're talking about wine club, and you're talking about joining. And if you do that every single time, you can rest in the knowledge that you have done the right thing. And then at checkout, you ask every single person, every single time, if they'd like to book a tasting, if they'd like more information on joining your team. And now that we have the new corporate dealies, you can just have that right at your checkout to remind you and to trigger them to ask about corporate gifting. So that's totally that's my jam right there. Mm-hmm. And you will book tastings at your tastings. I guarantee you will book tastings at your tastings because you won't leave anything out. So, okay, about the Facebook thing, I was really talking about a Facebook business page. I don't I don't know. I mean, Dawn, if you feel like you're not getting a business return and you're also not getting a personal return on your Facebook page, bail out. Absolutely. What I have found is that business page has the algorithms and things have changed so much that truly, unless you're paying for advertising or you've already built a really strong customer base or audience on a Facebook page, it's nothing. Nobody's going to see it. 0 people will see it. And even I've paid for advertising and still nobody really sees it. It's never, I swear, never gotten me an ounce of business. I've had a Facebook page for my businesses since Facebook came out, and I get nothing. I don't know. I don't even know why I continue. I have no idea. However, your personal page is a different story. And we used to keep them very separate back in the day, right? It was like, oh, well, here's my personal life and then here's my business. And we never would cross them over. But here's how I feel about it now. This business is part of my personal life. I am passionate about it. It's very personal to me. So this morning, you will have seen that I posted a picture of my kid that's coming home from college. Can you tell I'm like, he's going to be home in a minute? And I'm like, yay. But I will also later today, I will also post something about our wine, about our give back, about our opportunity, because it's absolutely part of my life. And so I don't think that I'm, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm not pushing anybody away with it. I just think if you're natural, if you are on Facebook and you have a natural conversation going with your friends and family, I think it's perfectly fine to start talking about your wine. If you don't have that, I say don't do it. Do you know what I mean? If you're not already kind of I've been on Facebook since day one. Like that's my jam and people know that. But if you don't really communicate on Facebook, move on. Find something else. This is not your jam, I don't know. So Facebook isn't where I get sales. Exactly. Email your friends and contacts. Absolutely. Okay. I will say the 4 points again. Everyone wants to do sales you have. Yeah. Always talk about the event link that you have open. Okay. Very quickly, the 4 ways to get free and discounted wine. The first way is to attend an event where we offer you up to a 30% discount on your wine. Our wine is carried in bars and restaurants and grocery stores. We have a partnership with Whole Foods where you can find our Cab and our Sauvignon Blanc. And I always say that because that's rad. Like people are like, oh, really? Whole Foods carries your wine? That's so cool. Our wine is $20 a bottle on the shelf. When you come to an event like this, we're giving you up to a 30% discount on the case. The second way is to host a tasting. When you host a wine tasting, your tasting case is 60% off or $8.25 a bottle. That's your first benefit to hosting. We will donate the 10% to your charity of choice every single time. We give you up to 12% in free product, and we offer you the 30% off at your tasting. So that's how you're triggering them to buy more wine. Right? You're telling them when you come to the tasting, you get to double dip. You get that 60 and the 30. The third way is to join our wine club. And then I talk about wine club, reserve wines, swag, really cool information about the wine, about the winemaker, about the grapes, et cetera, et cetera. And then the fourth way is to join my team. I don't pay for wine anymore. I get my wine for free. Plus, I get to go on trips to Mexico. I'm going to Napa this summer, and I talk about the benefits of joining. Now, I don't do it that fast, obviously, but I'm telling you, if you do that every single time, you absolutely have hit all of the key areas to grow your business. So, okay, that's it. I'm still a Cabby independent stylist. I want to quit to do wine full time. I was thinking of bringing a bottle to each show to excite customers about this product. I think that's great. I think let's go offline and talk about that because I have other thoughts about it. So Dawn, send me a note, okay? I don't want to take up everybody's time doing that, but I do have thoughts about that. So shoot me a note. Okay. How's our time, Sabrina?
It's great. And one thing I know I've heard you say before, Lori, and I think you're getting to that point, is this is a business. Like, this is a business that you do. So you have to treat every tasting event as a business venture, a business event. So don't be afraid to talk about it, especially when you're at those events. People are there to learn about what you do.
Right.
I know that I saw someone say, like, sometimes I feel guilty, or, you know, I feel like I'm pushy. Don't do that. You know, Lori, I know that, go ahead and go into
what. Let me preach.
Yeah.
Let me preach right now. Okay. You don't need to talk anybody into anything. Period. You have a beautiful offer. You have a beautiful product. You are helping people. Whether they host a wine tasting to raise money, or they join your team to make money for themselves, to pay for their kids' braces, whatever it is, that's your mindset, and you got to change it. You have a beautiful, beautiful product and offer for people. The minute you realize that, the better it is. You don't ever have to convince anybody of anything. If it's not for that person, no worries, move on. There's another person right next to them that's super interested. So it's really about your mindset. It's really about your mindset. How do you feel about what we're doing? How do you feel about our wine? How do you feel about our offer? How do you feel about your paycheck? How do you feel about giving back to people? That's all you got to know.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. You never, ever have to convince anybody of anything. It is perfectly fine to say, okay, thanks anyway. Do you know anybody? Always ask for a referral, right? Do you know anybody that might be interested? I get it. You don't drink. You're an Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever. Love you lots. Move on. You don't have to take anything personally. It is never personal.
Yep.
This is iced coffee, by the way.
I just had my daily.
Which is why I'm all. Okay. Still Cabby thinking of bringing about. Oh yeah. Just, you know what? Friend me on Facebook, Dawn. I'm very easy to find. Trust me. Send me a friend request, and we'll have a chat about it. Is that cool? Awesome. Cool. Bueno.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And thank you so much, Lori, for sharing all of your tips. I'm so excited to share this with the community. You know, we'll post the recording today. So if you missed any part of the call, don't worry. You can watch the recording. And if you have anyone on your team that you'd like to share the call with, definitely do that on the community page. And thank you so much for joining, everyone. Everyone have a great rest of your Thursday. And I hope you have some amazing tastings lined up this weekend. And have a great week.
Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good weekend.